Hey, I'm Carol.
And I'm Lauren.
And we're the owners of All Strength Nashville. All Strength is a private, female-owned and operated fitness studio with a focus on overall strength and longevity of health.
Our approach to training is rooted in current evidence-based research that encourages consistency and sustainability for an overall well-balanced lifestyle.
We're redefining modern fitness by focusing on the science behind long-term health and wellness rather than quick fixes and cookie-cutter programs.
We offer full-body strength training in the form of group classes and one-on-ones, 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday.
No matter where you're at on your journey, we can help you find your fitness. You can follow us on Instagram at All Strength Nashville, and while you're there, DM us to book your first class. So if you're ready,
rediscover yourself
and redefine your fitness at All Strength Nashville.
Yo, what's going on, Fit Fam? We are back with another episode of the Nashville Fit Magazine podcast, brought to you by our good friends at Game Day Men's Health Studio, baby. We are here, my girl.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, oh, man. You never know who's going to show up. Apparently, Nashville Sav is back. Music City Sav is back in here.
Welcome on back. Y'all come on in.
Southern Sav is back in here. What's going on, girlie?
You know, we're feeling silly today. Clearly.
Yes, clearly.
Yeah, a little bit sleepy, but we're fine. We're okay.
Yeah, you sure?
Tuesday afternoon. Is that like we talked about it on the sleep episode?
Yeah.
That third quarter slump.
Okay.
But you know.
Yeah. I don't get that because
I'm sitting in a nice comfortable chair. So.
Yeah, I don't get a third quarter slump because I have espresso. Which is a God's gift.
Gotcha.
To us. Yeah, we definitely need you to have a mic at some point, Lacey.
We would like our listeners to hear it. We're just talking to ourselves.
Right. We're just gonna catch up. How's your week been?
Week's been good. It's been productive.
Been productive?
Yeah. I'm trying to get better about my sleep. I've been talking about that ever since we had Dr. John on the podcast. But yeah, just trying to come up with better like nighttime habits and stuff like that. Just be a little bit more. Yeah, I'm kind of about putting sleep as a priority.
I'm kind of sad that I missed that episode because I know like sleep is my biggest. If I use an HR work opportunity, like that's where my hole is. Like I don't sleep a lot. Like I'll sleep 4 hours and I'm good. But I can run off of 4 hours. Like
you might be what we talked about. Elon Musk is.
I don't ever want to be compared to, unless we're talking about bank accounts, to Elon.
Right. I know.
Elon Musk. You and Elon, maybe no.
He basically said that Elon Musk is like a 1% like of the population who can get away with like hardly sleeping at all and being more successful in his day to day because of it. And Dr. John explained that is not most people. You should not compare yourself to
Elon Musk.
But he does have a rare like sleep disorder. I wouldn't even call it a disorder. It's like a gift.
Yeah,
like
I'm envious.
That's not fair. You literally get more hours in the day. I can't tell you how many times I'm like, if I just had more hours in the day, but I gotta sleep, because I won't be productive the next day if I don't.
Are you a night owl?
So, that's come and gone.
Or a morning person.
Sometimes I really like being a morning person. Right now, I would not say I'm a morning person.
Yeah.
I'm in a phase of like being more of a night owl.
Okay.
Which I'm not. It's not my favorite, to be honest.
No?
I prefer being a morning person.
I'm definitely a morning person. Night owl, like 9 o'clock. My body's like, all right, then we'll see. We'll see you tomorrow.
It's not intentional. It's not intentional.
Shut it down.
But
Neither is my body. It just stops. It just says, all right, that's enough for today.
My body will stop. My mind will not.
Oh, okay. Well,
like, hey.
Also, have you seen the meme? It's like I tell them I'm going to get 8 hours of sleep, and then me at 3 a.m. Googling how tall was Jesus. Like on my phone Googling how tall is Jesus. Like, I wonder.
And it's so frustrating because that's another thing we talked about is sometimes you'll wake up and then you'll be anxious about the fact that you are awake. And that is what's keeping you up.
What's keeping you awake?
Is the fact that you're like, I need to go back to sleep. I need to go back to sleep. Why am I awake? Why am I awake? And then you literally like psych yourself into not falling. It's wild.
I'm a really light sleeper though. So like any sound wake me up. I'm like, what was that?
Yeah.
Like I'm always like on the ready, like
that's probably a good thing.
Ready to run downstairs. Like
that's a good thing.
Yeah, but no.
Yes and no.
I have a 3-year-old, so sometimes she makes random noises in the middle of the night, and I'll just get up and look at the monitor. So,
well, you want to be like alert, like because you have a child, you know, like if something happens or something broke in. Like,
oh no, she's pretty loud. It's not like you're not gonna sleep through it. It's just it could be anything. It could be
I can sleep through a thunderstorm.
No, it wakes me up. Like I'm up. I'm watching the rain. Yeah, because it's just the noise.
I'll sleep like a rock.
I can't sleep through the noise.
Wow.
So I'm not a TV sleeper. Like that's the part of like
you shouldn't be
being married. Like some people like sleep with TV on. Like I can only fall asleep with the TV, and it's like I'm laying here.
Yeah, whoever's saying that needs to listen to that episode.
Yeah,
because it's like that's like literally telling your brain that it's daytime when you're watching like any screen. The blue light is a thing, and we talk about it. Actually, is it? We talked about it on that podcast, and it's in his book. So we'll have to get you a copy of the book. Nobody's sleeping.
Nobody's sleeping. Mm-hmm. I like it.
But we're not here to talk about that episode.
Yeah.
We're here to talk about Lacey, who we have here with us today.
So many questions for Lacey.
I would like you to introduce yourself, like first and last name and everything. But before we get into your story, we're going to get into the basket of debate, which is our little segment. It's been on the news.
Yeah, it's kind of global.
Humble brag, you know.
More local, but yeah.
But it's our little icebreaker, and it's a fun. We'll have you grab one of these out of the basket. We'll each have one and we'll read it, and it's usually some kind of like silly like question, and we will debate it, and either we'll all agree or we'll disagree or whatever, but we'll have fun talking about it, and then we'll get into your story. So Lacey, tell us your first and last name. Obviously we know Lacey.
Yes,
Vestal.
Vestal. Yes.
And your outfit is super dope today.
Oh, thank
Those pants
you so
look
much.
super cute on you.
Appreciate it.
All right, we're picking out of the basket.
Did you get one?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
Best for last.
What, do we reach across?
I don't know.
I don't know. Sab, your arms aren't that long. Sab was just like, yeah.
Give it
That's
to me.
not how. And Lacey, because you're a guest, we're going to let you read yours first.
Oh my gosh. This one is perfect for me since I grew up as a competitive swimmer. When getting into the pool, do you honor the shower first rule?
No, never.
No. Good. Same.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that was a thing. Are you supposed to shower
thing.
I heard after, like if you're at the beach, but not like just a regular pool. You're supposed to shower before you get in.
Yeah, you know those signs like in the locker room. That say
I never read those signs. Wow. I'm not a rule follower though, Lacey. So
I wonder like who needs to be though. Like,
I mean, it makes sense to to keep the, but isn't that what the chlorine is for?
That's what I think. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I never have heard that rule. I've heard the like don't get in the pool like until an hour after you eat or something. Mm-hmm. Which I've never had a bad experience with that, but I've heard of things. But yeah, I haven't heard the shower thing.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So therefore, I do not honor it.
Yeah. No.
No debate.
No debate for that. I was like, nah. Does anybody? And you're a swimmer. You don't like. I would think you're like, yeah, you have to. You're like, nah, I don't do that either. I could just go ahead and get in.
Ask a follow-on question about peeing in the pool, but I don't know if we're there yet.
Nope. Yeah, we gotta go there now.
Do you pee in the pool, Lacey? Lacey, you're Lacey.
I love her.
You saw her like
when you're training, it's a lot of effort to jump out and then like get your bathing suit on.
Sure.
Like no, it's just more efficient to.
You're an athlete.
You gotta go. You said chlorine. The chlorine's there for a reason, right?
But if not for pee, right?
Talking to a real athlete.
Got my mouth open in there, Lacey. I guess just,
I get what she's saying because I
gotta stop.
dated a competitive marathon runner who was like took it very seriously, very good at it, and the things I learned is
she pees while she's running
marathons. It's a long way. You're out there for hours.
You should start peeing. People
will pee. People will poop themselves to finish. It's a thing. It's just a. And it's widely accepted in the running world.
It's nothing that I want to finish that much that I'm going to poop on myself.
I mean, you and I, Jarrell, no.
I'll step to the side and make up my time.
But we're not competitive runners and swimmers, you know. So that.
I mean, I have peed in the pool, but
I have to.
It's not something that I try to do on purpose. Like if I can make it, I was like, I gotta go pee. I'll be right back.
Well, we're not training for anything.
And I feel like, is it while you're swimming or you just like stop, hold the wall?
Me personally, I have to stop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like if you're like, I'm in mid stride, like, and then it's like, okay, I would be more accepting of that. Which is, Lacey, you're taking a break. You're just standing there like, huh? Yes, and while you're talking to me while you're peeing in the pool, you're right. You can say, I see the relief on your face. Like I see you got a side smirk. Like, Lacey, are you peeing right now? No. Yes, you are. You're peeing. I see it, Lacey. You're peeing in the pool right now.
Oh my god.
Would ask you what pool you go to, but I don't want people to look at you next time you're there. Where do you train? Like, no, just like. Sam, what you got? What's your question?
Best day ever. My cheeks hurt already. We just got into this. Cool.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. This is good. This is a good thing. What is your number one movie pet peeve?
Talking.
Oh, of course.
Talking in the movie.
Theaters, I'm guessing.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
Or on the screen.
Yeah. Or phone,
Yeah.
phone ringing. Like when you don't forget to turn off your phone.
Yes. Yeah.
No, I have a bigger one, and maybe it could be a man thing.
Okay.
Okay, but my mom and my wife will ask me what's happening in the movie that neither one of us have seen. Like, so is he? I have no clue. I'm trying to figure it out. We watch it. We probably can get there. If we watch it together, we make it to the end.
Just started, Mom.
Yeah, like,
Just started. I don't know what's happening.
Listen, it's like, so you're telling me I have no clue.
I don't know.
I haven't seen this either. That's probably it. That's probably
There's
it right there.
like an Instagram reel or a TikTok going around that went viral of a couple watching House of Dragon, House of the Dragon, whatever you're supposed to call it.
House of Dragons.
People get in fights about that.
Yeah.
I call it House of Dragon.
Yeah, no, it's multiple
Whatever.
dragons.
Don't at me. But it's a couple, and they're going back and forth, being like, "What's his name? Wait, who killed him? Are they siblings?" Like, and they're just constantly asking each other what's going on, to the point where like nobody knows what's going on. So it reminded me of that. But yeah, no, that's a thing for sure. My mom does that.
Yeah.
I think that would probably be mine too with movies, is talking through it, because I can talk. But when I'm watching a movie, I don't want to talk, because if I start talking, I will miss 5 minutes. If I miss 5 minutes, I probably won't
You're
get
out.
to rewind. Therefore, I've missed too much and I can't watch the whole thing. So when somebody's talking and I have to shut you up, I don't have to do that much in the movie theater. I've had to do that one time. And it's really uncomfortable, you know?
You tell people to shut up in the movies?
If you're talking loud enough, I've had to do it once. And I like try to be polite and like be like,
Jeez.
hey, you know, just give a look. And they wrote,
Boo, I'm throwing popcorn at you.
And, like, we've talked about this before. Middle school girls are like terrifying to me. Like they,
What?
Like if anyone's gonna like
Come at
hurt my
you.
feelings, it's them. Because they're really good at it. They're in middle school and they're girls. It was a set of middle school girls, and they're just looking at me dirty, and I tried to get them to stop, and they didn't, but someone else ended up telling them to stop, and they were way more courageous about it than I was. So
Yeah. Okay.
anyway, let's move on.
Okay. Wow. Now we know
that I'm
now we know what your
afraid of-
biggest fear is. Yeah. You know, can get some middle school girls to run up on
They're
Sav.
terrifying.
Oh man, this one's. I feel like I'm being targeted, Terry. How long should it take to respond to an email? So I say, you felt that, Trent? I felt like that was. I felt like 4 of those questions was this one, just to make sure I got it, just to make sure I got this topic, and not you guys. Well, I will say it depends on if it's me answering or the intern. If it's the intern, then she needs to reply.
She has a name.
She need. Well, I didn't want to just put her name on. You know.
That's true. That's up to her.
And she has to earn her name. She's just the intern right now.
You should see the look that she just gave you right now.
If it's her, then she needs to reply immediately. For the working people, the people that actually have to work, I would say.
Man,
I would say.
my intern?
He said, "You want me my?" He doesn't treat you right, man. You getting job offers already? See, I'll treat you better if you just.
I'll treat you like
I treat you like a human. I say
feed you?
12. I do feed her. Ask her. She just ate.
She probably feeds herself fine.
I would say at least 12 hours.
Okay.
12 hours.
Yeah.
It's a good
I think it depends.
good
Like
good
if I'm
turnaround time.
emailing like for work related, yes, I think that's a good time frame. I think if it's like, I mean, I just don't know any other situation actually that it's like an email that I would respond to that wasn't
See?
work related.
Yeah.
Because everything else is spam. Like, do you
Or-
want to subscribe to Poshmark?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never open those.
Unless it's like, hey, we need your 1099. Then I'm almost immediate reply.
Sure, right.
Yeah, let me make sure you guys got that. Everything else is like, I'll answer it eventually. But if it's like, hey, we just need the one piece of information so we can pay you, then I'm like, oh, yeah, let me make sure I get that to you right now.
Yeah.
What do you say?
By the end of the business day.
By the end, man, you're one of those.
So that's
what time is
that's what we tell our recruiters, right?
Right. What if it's 3:00?
Like, are you saying, does that constitute the business day?
Yeah.
Like, if the email comes in at 3:00?
Yeah.
I think so. And it doesn't
so you
have
got
to
2
be
hours?
a detailed response, right? Just, I received your email, get back to you shortly. Acknowledgement, right? At the end of the day.
Got you.
Yeah.
I probably should adopt that method.
Yeah, I don't acknowledge it at all. Like, I'll get to it. But I'm to my credit, Terry, since I'm being targeted here, like, I don't have a front of the computer job. Right. And I try not to be on my phone like when I'm training. So I may, like, most of the time I'll see like on my watch. I'm like, oh, Terry text me. But then because I know this is about me.
I'm listening.
Terry text me, but I'm in the middle of a session right now or whatever. So I don't want to, like, and then I'm probably moving on to the next 3, 4. And then it's like, then I'm getting like, hey, you just going to ignore my text? And I'm like, oh, that's right. I forgot they never replied to Terry. So anyway, that's enough. I felt like that would cut the tension in the air with here.
I'm going to marinate on that one because I think I need to
do better.
A little better.
That's why we have the intern. So
you have mine.
You know.
She'll be mine.
You have to find your own intern. Possibly. Possibly. So Lacey, we want to get into your story.
Sure.
Apparently, those arms were built in the gym, and you just came off I thought it was just a Navy thing. We'll talk about that as well. But you just came from a competition. Talk to me about that. How'd you do?
Yeah, I sure did. I, for the first time, competed at the national level, National Bodybuilding Show in Teaneck, New Jersey this past weekend, NPC Universe. I've been competing in the sport just as an amateur for the past 3 seasons, but this was the first time I was able to step it up to that next level.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And you're doing bikini?
Bikini.
Okay.
That's correct. Yeah.
How long? And this is your 3 years?
Third season.
Third season, okay.
It started as a 40-year-old bucket list item, just wanted to get my best body at middle age.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's totally possible.
It is, yes.
Yeah.
100%. And the bug just bit me. I think the competitive nature.
Again, I don't want to keep bringing up the intern, but this is just so familiar because she competes as well in the wellness.
Okay.
And it was supposed to be a bucket list item as well. Like, oh, I'll just do one.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, she's chasing the pro card.
Yep.
So, yeah.
It becomes a lifestyle.
It becomes a thing. Yeah. How did you get into it? What was it about competing that you said, outside of just like saying, hey, like, I'm already active, as a part of what I do on my daily, like, what is that?
Came from like an athletic background.
Yeah. What made you want to jump on stage half naked?
Great question. Yeah, so I did grow up with fitness always being a central part of my lifestyle. Competitive swimmer. I was a collegiate rower. Did all the marathons, half marathons, triathlons, my 20s and 30s. But I never quite felt like my body reflected all the hard work I was putting into it. And I knew there was something that was missing. And it actually happened during the pandemic. I was stationed in Hawaii. The base gym had pretty much closed down, but there was a group of young Marines who were getting out there and training kettlebells. So it was, there we go. Kettlebells and pull-ups. So I joined that group and kind of got beat up 3 times a week by old crusty drill instructor, yelled at us and got us strong, right? And I think for the first time I learned the importance of muscle hypertrophy and training in a deficit. And, you know, I got lean and I got strong. And there was actually a gal at the gym who said, "Hey, have you ever thought about competing?" And I didn't know what she was talking about. I said, competing at what? And she said bodybuilding, and actually ended up introducing me to her coach, who was a former competitive, bodybuilder himself. He looked at me, kind of looked at my proportions, said, "I think bikini's the right division, for you," and the rest was history. I competed at a local show in Hawaii in 2022, and won the true novice division. So I was the best first time competitor, and I think that's when that bug kind of bit, and I said, this is winning. I want to see where I can go.
Make you want to go further with it for sure.
So the Navy moved me to my husband and I to Nashville in the summer of 2022. I did Whitney Weiser's Nashville Fit Show, and that was great experience as well. Did a show in Chattanooga last year, and then started the season in Chattanooga local show this year to get me ready for Universe, and then national show this past weekend.
Wow, you're climbing fast too. That's awesome. I mean, you clearly somebody saw potential in you, and I think it's up to both the person who sees the potential and then the person who has had the potential seen in them. Because some people are like, yeah, no, it's cool, I'll do it once, and then they win, and it's they're still kind of like, yeah.
And I think that was the missing piece. I think bodybuilding helped me see that potential in myself.
Right on.
And I think that's what's just been so inspiring and has kept me hungry for the past couple of years. And
it makes you hungry to win.
It does. And really wanting to share that message, especially with female competitors, in middle age, right? Age is just a number. It's all about your mindset.
Absolutely.
And having that best body, that body of your dreams is it can be done at any age.
Yeah,
I agree. And I also think as you age, you also mature, right?
Yes.
You learn life lessons. You learn, okay, well, I can't do this, but I can do that. You become smarter just overall as a human. Yeah. So you're more able to kind of put yourself in that mindset. I think you're almost better equipped to be in better shape in middle age. And I'm not necessarily middle age, but I'm not in my 20s anymore, and I know when I was in my 20s I was all over the place, mentally, physically, all of it. I had too many goals. I didn't really have footing with business and everything, and I think the older I get, the more I'm making smarter decisions, and therefore I'm able to put myself in this mindset of okay, what do I really want? What do I really need? And what is the discipline I'm going to have to take in order to achieve that? And I think you're just better equipped mentally.
Yeah. And physically too, right? Muscle density is a thing.
Yes.
I mean, stepping on stage with women and they're, 35 and above, 40 and above. I mean, there is a muscle density and maturity that you just don't see in the younger athletes. And that's something that, you're not blessed necessarily genetically with. You earn that over time.
That muscle belly gets more divine. Yeah. What, I'm curious because we talked a little bit about, you're a naval officer, right? Yep. What's your rank?
Commander, 05.
Commander, 05,
So,
okay.
baller.
So you're a commander in the Navy, and you're half naked on stage. Did that ever come into your mind of what your subordinates, when they see these pictures or if they come to the show, how does that affect? Did that ever come through your train of thought?
So I don't think I necessarily recognized the importance of kind of internet stalking.
Yeah.
My sailors doing their background research, but until I showed up for this job. But it's a thing. The pictures are out there, but I think what I've loved so much about the sport and what I always try and communicate to anybody who asks me about it, Navy or otherwise, right? It's about the human physique in the human form, and the way you showcase that is by getting up and stepping on stage confidently, right? And conditioning your body and learning how to pose. And so I think when you're able to look at it from that perspective, it becomes something completely different. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love it. Did you go Naval Academy?
I did.
Okay, so you came in as an officer.
I did.
Okay, so that's so you've always kind of been in leadership, and in that, did you strive to lead as far as, like, again, a large part of what you do requires some physical fitness? Has that always been kind of forefront of your mind of, hey, I want to lead from the front when it comes to the way I look, the way I feel, being able to perform and everything like that?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think that was one thing that really drew me to a Navy career, was just that culture of fitness, right? And being, able and needing to be physically fit for my job. And then I think you throw on top of that kind of extra layer of, being a minority, being a female, and wanting to hang with the guys and always, outperform and set a standard, right? I think there was definitely a part of that was important to me. And I still love inspiring young women and my female sailors to say, hey, you can get out there and max your physical fitness test just like the guys, right? And now, especially in Navy recruiting, how we look and present ourselves in uniform is really important to selling our service. So to me, I think that, again, that culture of fitness really checks all those blocks. And it's always been something that's been central to who I am and what I do.
Yeah. I think how you look and feel in any industry reflects a lot about what you whether it's you're selling a service, whether you're just presenting yourself. I think people treat you how you look, and that, good or bad, it's the truth. But I have a personal question for you. Do you think you can get me in buds? I just want to throw it out there. I didn't know if you had a back door to get me.
What?
No, that's
Buds.
What is that?
It's
SEAL training.
SEAL training.
Okay. Okay.
We've talked about my Navy SEAL career here, but I am what they call negative buoyant.
Gotcha.
So I do not float. She understands. See, she was like, "Yeah, I got you." You guys were like, "What is that?"
That's,
I do not float, and so I would probably wash out, but at least go. Carry the log once or twice, and then come home.
Also said he was that way.
Yeah, he is crazy.
He is crazy.
It's different. I'm not willing to die for that. I want to come home and just say, see you guys on Tuesday. Hey, yeah, Terry, didn't work out. I failed, and then I don't want to get carried home. That's not what I desire. But I was just curious. I figured, I saw it. I said, I'm going to shoot my shot and see if she can get me.
There you go.
Get me in buds.
You hooked up with one of our recruiters. We'll see if you.
I knew you were going to say that. You're just trying to get me signed in. That's how they get you. You're going to get you enlisted. You'll never see buds. I don't care. You'll be mopping the floors, brother.
Where did you get your start with the Navy? Like, did you know this is what I'm going to do, and or did mom and dad go, you're going to do this, or what was the beginning of the Navy career?
Yeah, definitely not the parental piece. In fact, I had no family history of service. So, I've always, been very comfortable in and around the water. I think as I was in high school navigating, what might be next for me, just, I think something in addition to the regular college experience really appealed to me. And it just so happened that one of my buddies on swim team was a year ahead of me, and he was applying to Navy, and said, hey, why don't you go check it out? So I went as a junior in high school and spent a couple days in the summer there, and they ran us around like midshipmen and yelled at us and made us do push-ups, and I was hooked, of course. Yeah. I mean, and not to mention, it's a beautiful campus right there on the water. But I knew once I was there that's where I wanted to go to school, right? I didn't know if I wanted to drive a ship or fly a plane or become a Marine. I just knew that's where I wanted to go to school and get that leadership training and experience. And, I've kind of always just let the next step on that journey, that path unfold before me, and it's worked out really well. So
you just kind of trusted your next step.
I did.
One step at a time. You didn't really have it all mapped out.
Correct.
You were just kind of okay. This feels right.
Yep.
Trusted my gut, and I'm going to keep walking that direction.
Yeah.
Okay, I can walk. Yeah.
Yeah, which is a tough balance to strike, being a very type A person.
Yeah.
Sure.
But, it's worked out.
But I mean, I think it's a lesson in learning to trust your gut and trust okay, I don't have to have it all figured out, and I will figure it out.
Yes.
I just need to keep taking steps.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think that's an important thing for listeners to hear, because I need to hear it.
Yeah.
And I'm very type A. Yeah. So I do like to know what's coming. I like to plan my week, and when things change in that, especially if someone else changes that, I'm like, why are you changing the plan, man? But if you actually just kind of go, you know what, it's all going to be exactly what it needs to be. I just need to make sure I'm taking steps in at least the right direction,
100%.
You don't want to take steps in the wrong direction.
Yeah. Is your husband enlisted as well?
Derek just retired. He did 25 years. He
Yeah.
retired last January.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we met in the Navy.
Yeah.
We were fortunate enough to get, our last couple tour stations together.
That's
Yeah,
that's where I was going with that. Yeah. So that's good. Yeah.
And then the Navy blessed us with a move to Nashville. Derek has 2 adult children who live here in the area. So it was really and truly the first time that I think the personal and the professional side of what we do kind of merged into one. And we've really felt since 2022 that Nashville is home for us. So
Awesome.
super lucky. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and 2022 was your first show?
Yes.
Okay. So you meet this girl at the gym and you go home and you tell Derek, hey,
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do this fitness competition.
Yeah.
Where is he standing with that?
He's great. He's always been so supportive of anything I've ever done. It doesn't hurt that he's definitely my gym buddy. He's my meal prepper.
Yeah.
That's good.
And I
A
think
lot of couples cannot do that together.
100%. And he doesn't compete himself. He certainly could if he wanted to, but that's not really his thing. But he's always been a huge supporter of me. And I think all it took was going to that first show. And like I said, seeing it as, comparisons of the human form and physique, not girls getting up on stage in sparkly bikini.
Yeah.
And he got that.
Yeah.
As an athlete, he got that and appreciated that. And he's been my number one fan ever
Yeah.
since.
That's something I've learned. It's opened me up a lot to the bodybuilding world because I don't know a lot about it. I'm not in it. I'm in fitness, but is knowing people who have competed and who have taken that route with fitness. I've learned so much about bodybuilding just by talking to people who do it.
Yeah.
And it's a disciplined sport.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, very.
sport. You have to think of it that way.
Yes.
And if you're not thinking of it that way, of course it can be toxic. Anything can be toxic.
Yep.
Anything in fitness especially. But it's all about perspective and it's all about accountability too,
Yes.
and in the Navy, I imagine you have a lot of both.
Yes,
so.
those 2 things really do go hand in hand in
Yeah.
terms of self-discipline, and I think just seeing the long game and all of that, and just
Right.
putting value and currency in your own health and well-being.
Totally.
What would you say your biggest lesson was in your first, since you've started competing, what do you think your biggest, because I know again, the conversation that me and the intern have had about just self-discovery, whether it's discipline or, you can do hard things or whatever that, you had already had a pretty established resume. So this is, icing on the cake. This is a complete pivot from what your norm would be. So what did you learn about yourself through that process?
I really think the sport helped me be comfortable in my own skin. It, I think, finally got me to disassociate from a number on the scale, right? And instead, being proud of what I see in the mirror and building muscle and what my body can do, what my body is capable of. Yeah. But also there's that, that point of stepping on stage and being seen, right? Being comfortable, in your own skin, step on stage in front of a bunch of people and be confident in who you are and how you present and show up to the world. So
there's literally just you. There's nothing but you on the stage.
Yeah.
And that is what I'm presenting to you.
Yeah.
It's not even the skill or the ability or anything. That's all the skill and ability has come to fruition in this. This is me.
Yeah.
So you are literally
Yeah.
you have to have confidence. If that doesn't make you feel confident, then
Has that made you more confident leader? Has it been a kind of a bleed in, so to speak? Yes.
I think you hit the nail on the head earlier when you said, you just show up more confident when you feel better, when you feel fit. And I've definitely seen that in myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, it's a great opportunity for me to set that example and set that standard for my sailors and my team that, again, you can be fit at any age and look good in your uniform at any age and, really do what it is the Navy asks of us at any age.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that. We're going to take a very quick break, and then we'll come back with a little bit more of your story.
Sounds great.
Sounds good?
Yep.
Hey there, waxing enthusiasts. Are you ready to experience the ultimate in smooth skin and pampering? Get ready to say goodbye to those pesky hairs with Wax in the City Brentwood, your new go-to for all things waxing and beyond. My name is Greg, and my wife and I recently opened our studio doors right here in Brentwood, Tennessee, and we can't wait to welcome you. Unlike those speedy wax joints, we take our time treating you like family every step of the way. Our Premier Club Orange membership is the key to unlocking a world of smoothness. Enjoy 50% off your first visit, a $25 gift card, and 20% off your monthly service of choice. But hurry, we started with 50 memberships and only 15 are left. Ready to join the club? Book now and experience the Wax in the City difference. Follow us on Instagram at Wax in the City Brentwood for all the latest updates and exclusive offers. Once again, that's Wax in the City Brentwood, where smooth skin.
We are
and
back.
pampering
I'm gonna go another angle because I'm really interested in your life as an athlete. So talk to me about those swim times and what was your event, and because you were a collegiate rower as well. Let's go. Where we at? What was our events?
But I don't want to set the standards too high. So I was a high school swimmer. My events were the 50 meter sprint.
Okay, so we're fast in the water.
Yeah, 100 meter backstroke,
Ooh.
and then right towards the end, 100 meter butterfly.
Okay, fine. I was wondering if you could hit the butterfly or not.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Yes, I'm definitely quicker in the water than I am on land. On land, distance running,
Yeah.
I can't sprint to save my life. But in the pool,
In the pool, you're in
So
there. You're
cool.
going. Okay, and
Could
rowing.
you do that now? Like, do you think you could like hit your same scores?
Not the same, but I am able to max out the
Let's
Navy's swim fitness portion of the test.
Nice.
So,
That's so awesome.
Yeah. Still going strong.
And the row.
Yeah, so I rode my first 2 years at Navy. Not a recruited athlete. Hadn't rode before, but they look for girls of a certain height and muscularity, and I fit that bill. So had a great 2 years rowing at Navy, and yeah, I mean it was a really easy transition to make from one upper body sport predominantly to another. So,
Yeah. So I was recruited by Army. I didn't go because of the commitment.
Because you want to be a Navy SEAL.
Well, no, because I didn't want to do 4 years. After, I think it was 4, is what they told us. After, like, if you don't make it pro, then, and even if you do, then you still, technically owe them 4 years. And I was like, no, I don't think I want to do that. But I was in ROTC in high school, and I was an athlete. So I thought if I didn't go the collegiate route 100%, I probably would have went Marines, honestly. My uncle's in the Navy, and I have an uncle in the Army as well. And my uncle wanted me to be a SEAL. I wanted to be a SEAL, but I was like, I'm gonna go Marines because only because of the uniform. Have the best uniform, and then I'm being honest with you, and then that's their selling point. That's their selling point. It's like, I can see that. I can see me wearing that. And like when the recruiters would come, like they felt like the most. To an 18-year-old,
heck yeah,
like manly. Yes. Hey, this is what we do. Like everybody can't be a Marine. They're like, I can be a Marine. And then not knowing any better, right? But then later on, like college is when I found out about the SEALs, and I was like, I might go and try that. And then they brought water into it, and I was like, there it is. Can't do that.
You got yin and yang over here.
Yeah. I can swim, right? But the things they ask you to do in water is completely a different world, Sav. I've seen some videos later. Here's the one that got me. I'll be honest with you. The one that got me is when they're like, we're gonna drown you, right? And so they tie your hands, your feet. Tie your hands behind your back. They tie your feet together, and you have the bob. So it's like, I think it's like a 13-foot pool. You hit the bottom, bob, air, go back down. You just keep doing that until you drown, pretty much. And then that's how it goes.
You can't do it.
Then until you can't do it anymore, and then you drown, then they pull you out, right? And then they the test is.
How far do they go with like near death? Like, do they
bring you back?
like,
Resuscitation.
They will let you flatline.
Hey,
and
you back?
Bring you back.
All right, get back in.
I mean,
that's what it is. And I knew then, I said, oh no, absolutely. Tie my hands and my feet and drown on purpose? No, right. I can barely live out here. You gonna take what I'm using?
I need those. No, because anyway.
a lot of it is mental, right? Like, what did you take from, that's kind of where I was going with that. Like, what part of like your life as a Navy officer that where you literally, I mean, there's a leadership aspect, but there's also a mental toughness aspect, right? Just going through the academy when you're getting treated like you're nothing, and then matriculating through that, earning that goal, and saying, you know what, that's not enough. I want to flip another switch. Where does that drive come from?
It's internal. I mean,
Yeah.
it always has been, and it's something we talk a lot about at work, right? Is how to motivate our folks, or how do you attract young adults into the service, right? Because a lot of people are motivated in different ways, but I think it's really the folks who end up really being successful in a military career, and kind of really being in it for the long haul, are the ones who are really motivated from within and are always looking to be just that 1% better themselves.
I mean,
every
that's
single day.
athletes too.
Yeah, 100.
Elite
Exactly.
athletes.
Exactly.
You have
Yep.
to be a certain type of
Yeah.
person.
And is your job? I don't know. Do you guys call it MOS in the Navy? What do you like? What is your?
So for officers, it's our community.
Okay. What do you?
So I started out as a surface warfare officer. So
Okay.
I was a professional ship driver, ship handler for the first 5 years of my Navy career. Was assigned to a guided missile destroyer out
Yeah.
of Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. Yeah, did 2 Western Pacific deployments. And then the Navy does a really good job of rotating you from sea time to shore duty, right? Because sea time is hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard on you mentally, physically. But they bring you back to shore. You're like, hey, life isn't so bad, and you sign up again. And it was on shore duty where I realized that the Navy actually has a human resources community.
Okay.
So I was actually thinking about transitioning out at that time after I had done my 5 years of minimum service from the academy. But the folks who kind of help us with choose our orders called and said, hey, what do you think about, HR officer? And I didn't even know that Navy did HR, like a
what?
big organization, right?
Where you guys been all this time?
Exactly.
Got some complaints?
Yeah. But I was in San Diego at the time, 2008, trying to look for another job seemed like a daunting task at the time, given the financial state of play. But so I said, yeah. And I never looked back. The community's been a really good fit for me. So one of the kind of tracks of the human resources community is recruiting. So currently I'm doing, managing recruiting efforts across Tennessee and the 6 surrounding states.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a hard question?
Sure.
Because it's something that's in the news right now. What are your thoughts on women having to automatically be signed up for selective service?
I'm good with it, but obviously I come at it from a perspective of knowing all the good things a career in the military has given me. But yeah, I'm all about equality and feminism, and to me, if you're able to serve, I think a career of service is really a win for anybody out there.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, you're such a recruiter.
Yeah.
The smile, it's really a win. I'm like, shit. What's the age limit again? I don't know.
we just increased it.
So actually, we just increased it. Terry, you may not see me next week. I'm going to boot camp.
Yeah, Gerald and I are
Perfect.
Going to be a SEAL, actually, Terry. After all,
Yeah, you can do this. Your hands and feet tied behind your back. I believe in you.
That's where I leave.
I'll be your teammate.
No, you won't.
Yes,
you're
I
lying.
will.
You're lying to me.
I'd probably leave.
Yeah, you would leave me. You would 1,000% leave
I meant
me.
me winning and being able to keep going in the Navy. I'm sorry, Jarrell.
Well, I understand.
Until we get into warfare, and
That's
then I'm saving my soldiers. I don't really.
Are you?
know. I
No?
don't know.
You just
I'd have
felt
to
like
be
you should say
very
that?
Heavily trained, obviously. I don't know what I'm talking about.
It's just like
Good,
it sounds good, right?
Good.
And is your plan to retire out?
It is.
It
I
is?
actually just made that very, very big decision.
Okay.
I hit 20 years
Ooh.
in May.
Wow.
And
Sign.
yeah.
Sign those papers one more time.
Yeah. Derek and I are really happy in Nashville, and it's been a great fit, great place for us to call home. So we're ready to settle down.
Now, where are you from originally?
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Okay, you don't give me Pennsylvania. Okay.
What do I give you?
Southern, somewhere in the South.
All right. Well, then Nashville's a great fit.
Yeah, I definitely would have guessed somewhere in the South or West Coast. But I think those two are kind of very similar in personality types.
Yeah.
I can see San Diego.
Yeah.
But
Spent
yeah.
a lot of time there. So
Okay.
I'd be rubbed off.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
I want to go there, but I feel like everybody's there now.
What?
Yeah.
You know,
You're in Nashville. Everybody's in Nashville.
a lot of people are in Nashville. It's like, I feel like if I move there, like it's gonna be a lot of like the same. Like it's gonna be the same as Nashville. Like,
You wanna
okay, a lot
move
of
to
people are
San
moving
Diego?
Here. Like
Yeah.
it's getting really expensive to live here. Like it's already really expensive to live.
San Diego's already expensive. Yeah, super expensive. Yeah, you're saving money staying here.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's coming from
I
me.
want to ask before we get into like stretch your intellect and start ending the segment. I want to ask one accomplishment from each your Navy background and your athletic background. Like, what are your biggest, like, most proudest accomplishments out of many? I'm sure there's many to choose from, but like, what are the highlights for you that, like, off the top of your head?
Yeah, I think professionally, it's assuming command, right? Being in command of an organization is
that's
the
so
pinnacle
cool.
of what we all strive for in military
Especially
service.
as a woman. I mean, more of that.
Yeah, and it's been a great opportunity, I think, for me to use that professional platform to inspire others. And it was daunting, though, and I think that's why I, absolutely would call it one of my biggest accomplishments, because I had no recruiting background, right? I was a career Navy HR officer, but I had never done any recruiting work. So to step into command, something I had never done before, using a skill set that I had never developed, was really scary.
That's another trusting yourself.
Exactly. And it's
so cool.
Akin to stepping on that stage, right? As a competitor, it's trusting that all the training, all the experience you've had has led you to this moment, and that you have enough. You are enough, and you can kind of step into that moment and embrace it. And yeah, are there going to be hard times and difficult problems to solve? Yes, absolutely. But
it doesn't mean you're not cut out for it. You just got to keep taking those
Yep.
steps. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love how that has basically been a pattern for you in your life. Like, everything that you've succeeded in has been the product of you not really seeing the outcome. And that's like anybody, really. Nobody can see the outcome of anything that they've been working tirelessly or training for, or maybe you haven't been training for it, you don't have the skills for it, but it's like someone saw the potential in you and said, hey, I think you should try this. It's like, I'm going to trust it.
yes.
Because your gut's a thing,
Yeah.
and you got to learn to trust it. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, okay, commanding, being in a commanding role, then athletically, like, biggest accomplishment from your whole fitness career?
Yeah, I think specifically this past weekend, competing at the national level, right? There's something about the local shows, running the amateur circuit, that is so rewarding and so fun, because you've got folks who are doing, transformations, right? And when you hit that national stage, you're surrounded by a group of athletes who have won at that level. There are no losers standing next to you on that stage, and just to be able to, I think there are folks who have the opportunity to train a lot more than I do. Kind of having a full-time job where I'm always on the road, visiting my recruiting stations, and a lot of folks who've been with the sport for a very long time. Like I come to it with just 3 years of knowledge and training, under my belt, but to still feel, again, confident and enough to step up and say, hey, I can hang here. I may not place, my first year out, but
you're here.
But I'm here.
And you're on this stage with a lot of
Correct.
winners,
Yep,
because
exactly.
you have to believe that you also belong up there.
Yes.
It's all mindset.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So out of everything that you have done athletically in your entire life, you've been a competitive swimmer, you've been a rower, you've done run marathons and everything. Like, this is your proudest moment.
Absolutely.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I, again, go back to, I think maturity has a lot to do with, your motives behind what you're doing.
Yes.
And, you're a little bit more intentional, I think, when you are more mature and you've reached middle age. I think it's you're okay, I don't care what anyone thinks anymore. I don't care about, pleasing anybody. I just need to do what's best for me.
Yes.
And it's a lot easier to, make those decisions. So,
Yep.
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You have such a cool
Thank you.
background
Thank
and such a cool outlook on life, I'm sure. I think there's a lot of perspective to gain from being in the Navy and from, stepping into a competitive world. So I think there's a lot of value already in this episode. Is there anything that I guess we should save that for after Stretch Your Intellect. It just felt natural.
All good. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll save it. Should we get into Stretch Your Intellect?
Yeah, we call this part reading out loud. Also known as Stretch Your Intellect. Today is brought to you by Waxing in the City.
Yes, that would be.
Yes, you have two twos.
Well, we
Number
love
2.
all of our sponsors.
Okay. Yes, Waxing in the City, where you can go and get waxed in the city.
Thank you
for your next show. If you want to, I don't know if that's your, it's a thing. Sav, you want
It's a very common thing, actually. Might be hitting y'all up. Beach season. Hey, you want me to go first?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Roman advancements. The Romans took indoor plumbing to new heights. I got another indoor plumbing.
So,
Yeah, but I get these every podcast. That's okay. I'm here for it. Let's talk about indoor plumbing. The Romans took indoor plumbing to new heights with their aqueducts and public baths. They developed extensive systems of lead and clay pipes to bring fresh water into cities and remove waste. Wealthy Romans even had indoor toilets connected to the sewer systems, which were quite advanced for their time, allowing them to enjoy the luxury of private indoor facilities. So what we're all able to enjoy, they didn't really get to enjoy that unless they were rich.
Or in the pool.
AKA private.
Or in the pool. Good one.
Smart poor people were in the pool. Okay, that's all.
Oh, that was it? Okay. I wasn't.
A random fact about public.
All right. Well, mine is the hearth's evolution. In medieval Europe, the hearth was the center of the home and the primary place for cooking. It's where all the women were. It wasn't until the 16th.
Here we go again.
Oh, okay. No, actually,
wrong episode for that.
Kind of. Yeah, I'm sorry. Sitting next to a trained killer over here, right? I love it. It wasn't until the 16th and 17th century that enclosed stoves known as jam stoves begin to appear. These stoves made of brick and tile allowed for more efficient cooking and heating, marking a significant shift from open fire pits to more controlled indoor cooking environments. I don't know.
People still set fires with very controlled cooking environments.
Yeah, we call it smoking, or grilling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lacey.
Well, coincidentally, mine is about ancient naval warfare.
Of course it is. I don't think it's a coincidence at all, actually.
The concept of naval warfare dates back to ancient times, with one of the earliest recorded naval battles occurring around 1210 BCE between the Egyptians and the Sea Peoples. The Egyptians used sleek, fast ships equipped with archers and spearmen to defend their coastline. These early naval encounters set the stage for the strategic importance of naval power in future civilizations.
Does that make you feel good
am
as a
about to
recruiter?
Google
I feel like
who
you
the
read
sea
that with
people
so
are.
much passion. Like you were like, you know what? We've been doing this for a while now, guys. Like the Navy has always been, because it used to be like it wasn't the Army. It was how strong is your Navy. That's how you knew if, like, if you. It's still that way.
Yeah, I would argue that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why Russell pulled up on us. Like, hey, what's up? We down the street.
All I'm wondering is what
Yeah.
sea people are.
Yeah, and it was capitalized.
Like, are they mermaids?
Who are the sea?
Are they like,
Are they mermaids?
can they be on land? Like,
Lacey, but before we get you out of here, it can be anything you want, but we like to leave our guests with the last word. So it can be recruiting, it can be about your fitness competition, it can be about nothing at all, nothing about Navy or fitness at all. Whatever you want to leave our people with, we like to leave you the last word.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for having me.
thank you for coming on.
Yeah,
You're a
my
badass.
pleasure. So I'm at a point where I think both my professional and personal passions are kind of converging, and no better place will that be on display than September this fall at the NPC Natural Battle of the Titans.
Yeah.
Downtown Nashville at the Woolworth Theater. Navy is the official sponsor for the
That is
event.
big.
And it's the first natural event co-promoted by Whitney Weiser Savage and
Awesome.
Ellen Sizemore of the NPC. So really, really, really excited to partner with those folks and cater to a community that two communities that are very similar, right? Young, fit, competitive individuals who are natural athletes.
Yeah.
So just encourage anybody who's interested to come down and check out that show, first of its kind in September.
Yes.
Now, will we have more military people involved in that show, or is it open to the public? What is
It's
that?
open to the public,
Okay.
but it's a great venue for military members to participate, right? Because we're subject to drug testing all the time. And
Do they
so-
drug test?
Absolutely.
Really? In the military?
Absolutely, yeah,
Oh,
right
man,
under
that's horrible.
analysis, all done, all
Okay.
that, yeah.
I'd be surprised if they didn't.
Would you?
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
In the military?
Yeah.
Of all places to drug test, that's where I would guess you would.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, I would even say, like, you work at Walmart? Yeah. Maybe.
I'll pass. I'm cool. I'm good, guys. I'm sorry if I made you think. I just didn't think I didn't know the military. I knew they drug tested to get in, but even once you're in, we can still be like, hey, come in, let me holler at you real quick. Never knew that.
Yeah. So a great opportunity for, I guess my point being, natural.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Do it in the
compete
military.
and be able to vie for for national qualification amongst people who are also.
And it's a national show. Oh, dope.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Now, are you guys drug testing for the show to make sure everyone's natural? How does that process
Not
work?
me personally, but that is one.
But
of the
yeah, that's
requirements of the
not
show,
you,
yeah.
but like the show.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Absolutely. And Navy will have a booth there where the official sponsors,
Of course
if
they
you're
will.
interested, in either competing or learning more about the Navy, please stop on by.
Yeah. Or
I imagine like if you were interested in just being in the Navy and you weren't like necessarily like, if you're looking for a recruitment opportunity,
Yeah.
come to this show. And you will also learn about bodybuilding.
Yes.
yeah.
But yeah, we want
But mainly we want you to serve in the Navy. So if that's you, no, I'm just playing. I think that's your job. I'm not. I wouldn't be a very good recruiter. I would tell people you're not gonna make it. Don't worry about it. You can't. Yeah, you're not gonna make it. Don't worry about it. You can get on and get up out of here.
Don't do it. You'll sink.
So we're gonna get out of here. On that note, I am D. Jarrell Webb. This is Lacey. You are.
I am Savannah Hill. That's my full name.
There you go. There you go.
I know it does feel weird.
Oh, that's not me.
Good work.
Somebody's phone's ringing.